I'd like to welcome Mr. Femi Ola, Development Analyst. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Likewise, Mr. Additional Joe is in the house, OID member in Oyo State. He didn't come last week. Good to see you and the other guys in OID. Now, next week, Saturday is election. Let's talk about the rights, the expectations, and the responsibilities of voters in this forthcoming general election. Let me start with Mr. Femi Ola. You're a development analyst and you've done a whole lot about elections in Nigeria and voting as it were. What exactly are the rights of the voters? Let's start from there.
Okay, I think we need to start from what are the responsibilities.
The responsibilities
yes. So
and the rights. Yeah.
I think we have those responsibilities that fall between the pre-election, during election, and after election.
Good.
So for those that are pre-election, I think a whole lot of us has actually done that. Like one of those is register to vote.
Sure.
You are not just registering to vote, you need to collect your PVC, which I think civil society and government agencies that educate people, they've done a whole lot of things on this. And I believe OID also have done a whole lot of that. So for me, I think those are part of the responsibility for pre-election. Then you are supposed to collect your card and be prepared
for the election.
For the election. And preparing for the election includes knowing your ward, knowing your polling unit, and of course identify who you want to vote for. Fine, that is up to you, but it's actually one of those things you need to do, and those are part of the responsibilities. And then during election, it is your responsibility to know how the whole thing is going to take place. It is your responsibility, but your duty during election is to actually vote. And it is your duty to also monitor your vote.
Not just go there,
just
vote,
go
and
there
leave.
and just walk away. You know, sometimes it is not everybody that will actually monitor their vote, but it almost lies on the citizen to actually monitor their vote and ensure that their vote actually counts.
How do you monitor your vote?
Good. I tell people, as an observer, I observe elections, and our job is to have the eyes that will see, the ears that will hear, and the mouth that is closed.
A mouth,
a ear that will hear, yes, eyes that will see, and a mouth that is sealed.
Okay.
You have to seal that mouth because your job is to just observe. But as a citizen of Nigeria,
you're a non-participant observant.
Yes, you are not You are not supposed to intervene
at all
in any way. You are not supposed to intervene. Your job is just to observe. Just as the word sound is, your job is to observe. And when you are observing, the citizen have the right not just to observe alone, but to monitor as well. You know, there is difference between monitoring and, of course, observing. Sure. Now for citizens, you are meant to look at it when you think something, a kind of sharp practices is going on. You know, if you actually speak directly might cause pandemonium, you can actually call the attention of the security officers around that place. So you're actually intervening without causing problems. So these are part of the duties, responsibilities of citizens. You know, I always tell people, Nigerians, we have a very minute number of active citizens in Nigeria. And when you are talking of active citizens, these are citizens who are ready to use their voice to hold whoever that is representing them or the person in power accountable. So it means that we need a high level of Nigerians during election to be active citizens. The fact that you are active citizens doesn't mean you should
cause violence.
Elections. So I think those are the things that we need to do. Then after elections, we have gone digital. The whole world, in fact, the children of nowadays, they are actually, I said the children of nowadays because I can't call my child a child anymore. Technology is native to them.
Let's say this generation.
Yes. This generation, technology is native to them. And you can actually have concrete evidence using technology. With your phone, you have the right to use your phone. You have the right to take pictures. You have the right to record voices when you think you need an evidence. So these are part of the things that we can actually tender after the election if there is a kind of dispute in that particular unit that you belong to. So these are part of the things that I think they are part of the responsibility of a citizen. And when it comes to tribunal, go to tribunal, follow them there, witness the whole situation.
Oh, you're allowed, not just party members alone.
It's not just party members, because we are stakeholders. We have the stakeholders during the election. In fact, the most important stakeholder during the election are the voters. Because I tell people, don't let politicians deceive you that whether you vote for us or you don't vote for us, we will win. It's a lie. Because if they believe that they can win without you, why are they buying your vote?
So voters should be a part of that process.
They should be part of the process because they are even the most important stakeholder in the first place. Because the politicians are meant to be the voice. They are meant to be like, amplifier, not the voice. The people are the voice.
That's right.
But
that's right.
the politicians are meant to be amplifier, because we blow what they are supposed to send out into them. So these are,
and they are supposed to be responsible to the
voters themselves. You know, but it seems the other way. That's what we operate in Nigeria. But let me leave it here for now.
Then one other thing I think voters should do should be verifying their names.
Yes,
on the,
of course.
on INEC's list.
Yes.
Either a day to the election.
Of course.
That should be done on Friday.
When the register is available, go there.
That
was what I said. That you should do all those necessary things you are supposed to do
before the day of election.
You know, those are the responsibility pre-election, during election, and after the election.
Let me speak with Mr. Nuruddin. Voter education, really. Let's educate our voters. We have about 7 days to go for the presidential and Senate and Federal House of Representatives elections.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome.
And I think voters education has remained one of the least that either INEC or political parties have been considering.
All these years.
Year in, year out. I think it's heightened now because of maybe the introduction of the beavers.
And people are more inclined,
people are more inclined, more open, more like asking questions now. And these are areas that are very important to political parties themselves.
And that's why you're here.
And that's why we are here this morning.
So tell us.
We on OID, we have a product, and the product is GSM, in which we are trying to let people know that first and foremost, as a voter, you are the king. You must know. You are the one deciding the fate of an average politician out there. So you must be ready. You must be prepared. You must make up your mind that you want to vote. You want to exercise your civic rights. And that is what we are encouraging people. First and foremost, on the day announced for the election, in this case February 25 and March 11th, be up and doing. Don't stay in your house. Don't stay with social media. Don't stay glued to the television. That is not where your right is. You are supposed to be up. Follow all the announcements. Follow all the announcements by INEC. You are supposed to be there by 8 a.m. Be there by 8 a.m. Be sure you are there. Be sure you are orderly. Be sure you've identified your polling unit. At least
that's very important.
That is very important.
Especially now that INEC is saying
some people will be changed exactly. That there won't be election in some 240
polling units.
Correct. So it is your right. It is your right as a voter to know your polling at least a day or two before the election. Because as expected, movement will be curtailed that day.
Sure.
So maybe you may not be able to move maybe about 500 meters
from where you are.
Either your residence or anywhere. So identify where you are voting. Be up and doing. Be there early enough. If it is 8 o'clock, be there early enough. You understand? Listen to the
instructions
from the electoral officers and officials who are there. Be orderly. Encourage people to be orderly. Stay on the queue. You understand? Don't create problem. Even if you need education, maybe my name is not here. Ask questions responsibly. You understand? We all own this system, and the voters are the king. In this instance, you know who you are voting for. You are voting for GSM, Governor Seyi Makinde. You understand, of your state. You understand. You know that's your candidate. But you must show it. You must be there. You must not show a situation where you want to disturb or disrupt the process. You must be hotly check your name, make sure you are accredited. You are accredited on time. And I think from the system now, from what we are hearing and we've seen, is from accreditation you are proceeding to vote straight away.
Yes, it will be a sort of verification either by thumbprint, or facials.
So exactly.
Then you do your accreditation with your PVC.
With your PVC, then you vote direct. You vote direct. It's not the previous one where you accredit, you go and wait. Then you follow through the process. If you see elderly people that you think you can help, you understand, help them.
And the physically challenged.
And these are the special people in our society. They can actually bring in, according to electoral law, they can actually bring in as many as possible people to assist them.
Of course.
Because they are special.
Of course, yeah.
You understand? Yeah. Well, maybe it's a dump, maybe it's
visually impaired.
Visually impaired, you understand?
Assistance walking.
Exactly, maybe walking, you understand? So these are people, you show them love. Yeah. We must accept one reality. As of today, we have no other country that we can call our own for now. Yeah. Even if you are able to Jackpot or whatever, you still have a source here.
Your country of birth will always be your country of birth.
Yes. You still have a source here. So we all have a stake. And this is what we are telling our voters. It is your right. Make sure you are there early enough. Don't create any problem for anybody. Be hotly. Present your PVC. Whatever the electoral officer are asking you to do it gently. Then cast your vote in a manner that your vote will count. There has been enough enlightenment on how you can cast your vote, either by your thumb or by any of your fingers, index or anyone. Just make sure that you did it and you do it for your Governor Seyi Makinde.
And thank you very much, Mr. Nurudeen Adedeji. Mr. Yes.
Can I say one or two things about the voters' education?
Yes.
I think I only mention it in passing, and I think he has done a whole lot of justice to it. And I think I need to put the challenge on the table of those that are responsible, of which my own constituency is actually not an exception too. I think the civil society, they need to start doing their job also. We need to do more.
It's not too late for that, actually.
It's not too late.
Yes,
it's not
we
too
need
late.
to do more political voters education more than ever. Because the people we have, the type we are going to have this time is going to be very strange to the elderly ones.
Exactly.
So we need to educate them
technology.
a whole lot more. And of course, we are doing a lot around that. And I think this political party themselves, they need to do a whole lot. Because sometimes I tell people, I said, we don't know that political parties occupy a very important position in our society. They sway opinions.
They have that power.
They have the power. And let me tell you, even the people we are voting for, I always use this analogy. They are the ones that shop what we shop. We don't really have the choice to choose what we want on our bucket list. They are the ones that actually pick people for us. And we now pick from what they are picked. So it means that we don't actually have to educate the citizen alone. We need political parties that are strong. Very strong, educated, with ideology, and knows exactly what they are doing. So
to lead the people aright.
Yes. It's not just leading people aright alone, but give us the best of us. Because I tell people, whatever happens, even if you don't vote for a particular candidate that wins, is your president, is your governor, is your chairman.
Chairman.
I know INEC had a forum on Thursday with the media, and we had lots of political parties in attendance, and they talked a lot about the latest developments and issues that are cropping up for this general election.
I think that should be trickled down to the voters, like we are saying.
Exactly.
And like he has said, and we have been able to identify here, voters' education has virtually been relegated to the background. The only thing the average politician is interested is to market himself,
get the votes, and
that's all. You understand? And I once attended the political rally, and despite the very superlative speeches that the candidate was making, you understand, he did not even mention his party. He did not even mention how
he was carried away.
He was carried away by it. You understand? And these are things going forward that our political parties should embrace. Maybe you go with a specimen.
Yes.
Specimen. Look, I am Sheyi Makinde. I am PDP.
You won't see my logo. You won't see my face.
You won't see my face. You won't see my name.
This is the logo you are going to see. This is how it looks like.
You even see my name. And you only see the party.
People know the party logos because 18 political parties are
that's
going
exactly
to
what we are
saying. Identify this.
That is exactly what we are saying.
Now,
and sorry, my brother. Every you just make it like an anthem now. You understand? You go to your campaign with a specimen. Specimen. Look, this is my party. This is what you will see that day, and this is how you will vote.
Echo it in the ears of the people.
In the ears of the people. So that we will safeguard some of these void votes, so that people will not be thumbprinting on a place where they will cancel the vote. Okay. Because if you have been in the sun since morning, just to now voted and it was voided, it won't be nice. So they need education. This is how you paste it. It's either you use this or you use this. You understand? Just do it in a place that they will know that this is your intention.
It fits into the ballot paper.
I think we need to localize the campaign.
Okay.
We need to localize it. Most of the time when we want to do our advert, we do it on channels. We do it on. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You won't hold me for to pay for that. We do it on all those big
national
TV. That's where we go, where we pay a whole lot of money.
Exactly.
But the question is, the mama in Ayete, will she be watching those national TVs?
Or
that man on the farm somewhere
in the rural area,
in Ajay town, and the rest of them would they be looking at that? Now, I used the word localize. Now, that is in terms of the medium we are using, in terms of media. Now, localizing in terms of the language we use
itself.
Egbewa kini kan bye lo represent o, because we know we are Yoruba people. Why can't we make this thing? Egbewa nkan bye lo represent o, umbrella lo wa nbe o, nkan bye lo, and the rest of all those things.
So using the language they will understand. Take it to them in that language.
And then use as he has said. Use localized mediums. You understand? Localized medium. Like the very wonderful things that this station is doing, I must commend you. You understand? I'm very sure either you like it or not, there are some classes of people that will always stick to you.
Of course.
By virtue of the name.
Of course.
Yes.
Because they will look at it as their own.
Of course.
And they are one of those our fathers, and they are one of the people in the voting age.
Of course.
They might even look at it that if other people did not tell me,
long as it's from pensioners.
Yes. My station, my station, exactly. My station will tell me this is my station. You understand? So they need to go that hinterland. Go hinterland, tell people about it, and then the medium of communication, like he has said, Yorubas for Yorubas, talk to them in what they know. Our mother tongue. Our mother tongue is very powerful. It brings more understanding. There are people that by the time we started bringing up this grammar, I must say, but ẹgbẹ́ wa rèé o, ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́mbrẹ́là ni o, èmi rèé o, èmi Ṣèyí Mákindé o, ní rí orúkọ mi ń bẹ o, ilẹ̀ máa rí ń bẹ o,
logo wa
lélẹ́yìí o, ibi tẹ́ máa tẹ̀ sí rèé o, ibi tẹ́ máa fi sí rèé o, ṣé you understand?
Àwọ̀ báyìí ló
ní báyìí o. bó ṣe rí leléyìí o.
And you will remember, was it 2015 or 2019 that issues cropped up with colors
With
of
colours,
party
yes,
logos?
yes.
party logos.
So if changes would come up in in
Yes.
situations like that, we should
Yes.
know
We should know
beforehand.
beforehand,
Beforehand.
because we had a situation. There's this campaign we do. We call it "Vote Not Fight." You know,
Okay.
at some point we wear this certain colors, but people start murmuring that we are actually promoting certain
Certain
parties.
parties. Okay.
So what we did was to say, okay, no problem.
Just go neutral.
None of your party are wearing black now. None of them are wearing white.
White.
Let's do white and black. White and black.
Mm.
You know. So these are part of the things that our people, they see in colors.
Yes.
They see in colors.
They see in
So
signs.
They see in
Yeah.
signs, symbols.
Symbols.
Those are the things that we see. We need to educate. We need to bring our education down to that level.
So in summary, gentlemen, we've talked about the responsibilities of voters, what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
Check your name, check your
name,
polling
check
unit
your polling
to be
unit,
sure, that
that's
this is where you're going to vote on Saturday.
so that you won't get there and they will tell you, you have to
It's
go
somewhere
else. You
And
understand?
be disenfranchised.
Exactly.
Then during election,
Be orderly
on the queue.
Listen to electoral
verified,
officers,
get
you understand?
accredited,
Get
vote.
accredited vote, and then
monitor your election.
Monitor
Monitor
your
your
votes.
votes.
Monitor your votes. I mean, according
And if you need
to
to-
INEC now,
Yeah.
I think the results are being translated I think,
Automatically.
Electronically, yes.
Electronically,
Electronically,
automatically.
yeah.
So you can actually stick around, and you know, I want to tell you a story about ours when we are growing up, when we start voting. You understand?
Cut the story short, please, because we have to
go. Election always give us windows to meet our long time neighbors. Friends.
Yes.
Because everybody has to come home.
Ibi tó ṣe máa dìbò ní amarira lẹ́ni, you understand, and that will be it. You will catch up
Everybody
again.
will sit down.
You
Bring something
to
to eat.
eat self, you
Yes.
relax, you understand. So I mean, people could rekindle that stuff for themselves,
Yeah.
so that we can make our country great.
Yep.
We can make Oyo great. We should Makinde.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I really have to appreciate Mr. Nuruddin Adedeji, public commentator and member Omitutu Initiative in Diaspora. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome,
Thank you
my
for enlightening us today.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Femi Ola, you're a development analyst. You've done so much in terms of elections in this
Thank you
country.
very
Thank you for
much.
being a part of our
Thank you
discussion
very
today.